hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Aha, it wasn't my fault. Mic was on. I don't know what happened. I'm not claiming that one. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. It is Tuesday, August 25th. Glad to have you with us and glad to have all of my friends here. We have Stacy Spivey, who's working from home, in his very separate home is Megan Malaris, and Taran Kirksey also working from his home. Ed Matthews is in the weather garden today, so we have a lot to talk about. But first, let's start with the tropics, Taran Kirksey, and even, our local weather here. Lots of changes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's talk about it. We'll talk about the tropics really quickly, and then we'll show you your 7-day forecast. Marco, don't really care about it anymore. It's really fizzled on out. It is giving us some cloud cover as we see some of the moisture and the cloudiness on the east side of that circulation kind of head our way. And we'll see the chance of a few showers, mainly south of I-40 today with some of that tropical moisture streaming on in. But for all intents and purposes, this system is just about gone. There's a center right there. Notice not a whole lot of cloudiness associated with that. The bigger issue for the Gulf Coast is going to be Tropical Storm Laura. It is getting more and more organized. As of the 5 a.m. advisory, it had max sustained winds at 65 miles per hour. It's well on its way to becoming a hurricane very soon. And the forecast cone takes it northwest across the Gulf of Mexico, and it has it making landfall as a major hurricane as we go into early Thursday morning. Keep in mind, track forecasting is better than intensity forecasting at this point in time, okay? As far as the intensity, it could get stronger than this, but right now this is the official forecast. The cone kind of stretches from Lafayette, Louisiana, all the way over to Houston, Texas, with the center of the cone right there up the Sabine River. So if you're familiar with Southeast Texas, Southwest Louisiana, we're talking about the Lake Charles, Port Arthur, Beaumont area as we go into Thursday morning. And then the system will continue to the north. And then eventually whatever's left of it as we head into the weekend will start to head in the direction of the mid-Atlantic states. And that could bring us a little bit of rainfall, maybe a few thunderstorms as we go from Saturday on into Sunday. At this point, doesn't look like a big deal, but of course we're going to, at least for us, we're going to keep an eye on it. In the meantime, small chance of a few showers. Today at 20%, the better chance for more cloud cover and showers to the south of I-40. If you live well north of I-40, closer to the Virginia, North Carolina border, you're probably going to see a decent amount of sunshine today. And then as we go from Wednesday to Thursday, we'll keep it completely dry, highs warm up into the 90s. And then there's that chance of rainfall Friday into Saturday as some of that tropical moisture moves on in. That's a quick look at your 7-day forecast.
That was a very involved look, Taran, and I appreciate it because I'm still confused about, how we got out of order here with Marco and Laura. I guess Marco formed first, but weakened first. I don't get it. Whatever. But thank you. I mean, which one formed first?
Laura formed
right,
first.
Right, because it's alphabetically Laura, right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, but it formed farther out into the Atlantic. Marco formed second and formed in the Caribbean. So Marco approached the coast first. Laura is behind it. Thankfully, Marco just kind of fizzled out as it approached Louisiana. So that's not going to really be an issue for them. Laura could be a big issue as we go through the next couple of days. That's going to be the one to watch. Sometimes in situations like this, you get a rapid intensification cycle that occurs right before landfall. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it's certainly a possibility. So we'll have to watch for that as we go on into Thursday morning.
Ed, are you as excited as Taran about talking about the tropics?
Okay, we got Marco out of the way. I'm ready for Laura to die. I'm ready for the tropics to just chill out for a while.
Yeah. Me too. Yes. Calm down, y'all.
Calm down.
I'm with you.
All right. Well, hopefully it doesn't present any real danger, but again, that is something to watch. All right, let's get to our first conversation here. During the pandemic, North Carolina schools relying on technology like never before. I mean, really, we all are, right? Canvas crashed last week, Zoom yesterday, affecting class lessons and business meetings across the country. The outage was sporadic. Not everyone was affected, but we want to know if you were affected and how. Let us know in the comments and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So Winston-Salem, Forsyth, Rockingham, and Alamance Burlington school districts all tell us Zoom went down for 4 hours Monday, getting back up and running around noon, but that impacted 4 hours of class time. There's no word yet from Zoom on what caused the crash, but they said it was mainly in the eastern portion of the country. So this morning we want to know, were you impacted by the Zoom outage? How much do you rely on technology for your day-to-day? And let us know in the comment section. So we'll start, Ed Matthews. Were you impacted by the Zoom outage at all?
Not at all, no. Use it occasionally, of course, here at work, and also for our meetings for the HOA at the condo building, which we're going to do that tonight. So hopefully it's working okay. Hopefully no more outages. That poses just, more chaos for the kids in school.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, everybody's goal is to make this as easy as possible for the students, right? And the teachers and everyone who uses it. And, Megan, we're all getting used to Zoom, and it's actually gotten really easy to, log on, to record, to use it, to send out the videos. I mean, it's really a great system when it works.
Yeah, I mean, just like anything, that's what technology is. It's good when it's good, and it's not so great when it's not working. And we know that all too well. Being in the news industry, we have to deal with these technology challenges sometimes, but we always press through them. Zoom has really been a great tool. It's kept families connected during this COVID-19 pandemic. It's so easy to use, user-friendly. It's also helped a lot of us work from home effectively. Just last week, I went one-on-one with our U.S. Senate candidates, and we did our interviews via Zoom. Thankfully, it was working on the days I did those interviews, but it is also kind of alarming, perhaps unnerving, putting that much stake in this third-party service. I do think that moving forward, and perhaps this was a bit of a lesson here to the local school districts, we need to have other options, things that are secure and safe and still easy to use, user-friendly going forward if this virtual era continues as we know it.
Well, Taran, remind me, are you on Zoom right now?
Oh yeah, I'm on it right this second. So
That's
it's
awesome.
been working fine so far this morning. And obviously I wasn't at work yesterday, so I wasn't on Zoom or anything else at all yesterday. So there you go.
No impact. However, Taran, I have the perfect excuse for you if you just decide one day you're not into it. You're like, Zoom was down.
I'll just have to get everybody else on Twitter to go along with that story so it'll look like a widespread outage and not just something that happened on my computer and on both of my phones. All those devices
true.
just not working all of a sudden.
That's so
But
true.
it's an idea. I will call, 8 or 10 million of my closest friends and see if I can make that happen.
I'm sure you have that many. Did you hear Megan laugh? That was so funny. All right, Stacy, are you on Zoom? I can't remember if it's TVU app or Zoom.
No, I'm using the TVU app, but I just wrote in a comment section, #BlameTaran. So we can blame Taran for this one. But a lot of people on our Facebook stream were saying that they didn't have any issues at all. Ramona said, no, I was not impacted. Jason said, only time I've used Zoom was for North Carolina high school officials football meetings and never had an issue. On the Sunday Good Morning show, we use Zoom for pretty much every interview that we do because now all of our guests that we would typically have in the studio with us, like our cooking segments, all have to be via Zoom. Thankfully, the outage obviously didn't impact us there, but technology sometimes can be a headache, and we've had some issues just with technology in the past on the Sunday Good Morning show. Thankfully, nothing that went out on air or whatever. So I could see where it was probably a headache for parents yesterday.
Yeah, the dog ate my homework excuse has turned into Zoom didn't work. So, and that's only been in the last. Megan, you were chuckling today. I love it. I love Megan's little chuckles. It just makes me laugh. So just getting back to some of the comments here in our section, Jill Stokes-Hartley said, I won't lie, our Zoom learning has been amazing, which is awesome. Jessica Richard says, it seems it's always something with online school. I think we are all just doing the best we can at this point. And then Dana said, we had widespread outages in Atlanta. I had to reschedule 3 meetings. So yeah, there were a lot of different outages, and Kim says, yes, our classes were impacted. So, I mean, the good thing is that, absences aren't really being counted right now. They're kind of like being very flexible with, how you're counted and how you are, unfortunately, being educated. But, at some point, these technical issues really have to go to the wayside, and students are going to have to buckle down because I don't think they're going to get rid of state testing this year. Well, they could. I mean, who knows? Everything is, up in the air. So thanks for commenting here on our first topic. We have another topic which is a little bit more fun coming up in just a few minutes. Right now we'll get to your morning headlines starring the chuckler, Megan Maleris.
All right, some serious headlines to get to. So we will start with the latest COVID-19 numbers, which are the reason, of course, many people are using that platform of Zoom. We saw some encouraging trends here with the latest case numbers. They do show a bit of a leveling after a downward trend recently. This graph shows the past 7 weeks. You can see the 14-day moving average was on a steady decline the first half of the month. The higher days lately have halted that decline and now show a bit of leveling for the past week. We still have some time to improve this trend, and recovery numbers out yesterday show some encouraging signs. 88% of all total cases thus far in North Carolina have recovered. The governor's task force is going to use this information to make a decision in the next few weeks about when to move North Carolina into phase 3 and how to do that. A Triad daycare facility is dealing with a COVID-19 cluster. The state health department says Lexington daycare has 8 cases, 7 are employees, and 1 involves a child.
The Alamance County Courthouse is undergoing some deep cleaning after someone tested positive for COVID-19 there. They say the person was visiting the building last Tuesday. The health department says it is getting in touch with anyone who might have come in contact with them. At last check, the courthouse is open while the cleaning takes place. Another North Carolina university pauses its athletic activities. NC State confirmed a COVID cluster within one of its athletic programs, but didn't say which team it involves. 27 student athletes tested positive for the virus. The announcement comes just days after the school switched to online classes only for its undergraduate students because of a rise in coronavirus cases on campus. So that gets us into our next conversation with Stacy Spivey. This one makes me chuckle.
Oh yeah, I think it's pretty funny. So Duke University, well, this is kind of sad, but fall sports will go on without fans at home games. But there is something that will be in the stands. That will be fan cardboard cutouts. We've seen this happen in the MLB. I just love the idea. Now, Duke Athletics said fans will have the unique opportunity to support the football team with these fan cutouts of a person or even a pet. And we want to hear from you. If you had the chance to be put on a cardboard cutout in any stadium, what would it be and where would it be? I would have to say mine would definitely be at, either where I went to college, Arkansas State University, which I was a cheerleader, so I guess I would have to have my pom-poms and everything. Or I would have to put my dog Wrigley at Wrigley Field in Chicago at the Cubs Stadium, because it's just fitting, right? Because he's named after the stadium.
That is actually really fitting. So I would put my cutout, if I had to choose a stadium, I would go right at Aggie Stadium. I know they're changing their name because they have new ownership over there, so I don't want to say the wrong name, but I'll call it North Carolina A&T Aggie Stadium because we have season tickets and I really wanted a football season this year, but it's not happening right now. It could happen next year, so we'll see. And if I could put it anywhere in the world, I would put it right in my living room. I would have a cutout of me so I could take a nap while the cutout watches my kids. Clever, right? Clever. Mama needs to nap. All right, Ed Matthews, any stadiums in mind?
Oh, you know, Carter Finley Stadium at NC State.
Yep.
Watching a football game. And I envision myself with 5 hot dogs, 2 or 3 drinks, a box of pizza, about 4 or 5 hamburgers, and 3 boxes of popcorn. How about that?
Yes. You can say that a million times.
Yes, yes. And anywhere in the world, I would have to say Hawaii, the most beautiful place on the planet that I've ever been, out on Waikiki Beach, soaking up the sun.
Oh, that sounds good too. All right, Megan, can you beat Hawaii and is it Carter
Carter Finley Stadium.
Finley Stadium.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I can top that. If I had to pick a stadium, I think I would put my cutout in Busch Stadium, home of my St. Louis Cardinals baseball team, where I grew up and the team I supported through baseball as a native St. Louisan. If I could put it anywhere in the world, I'd probably go with Paris, London, or Rome. I love all three of those classic old cities. And then as far as what my cutout would be doing, well, if I were to be reflective of today's everyday activities, I would probably have my cutout with a baby on one hip and a cat on the other. If I were making a cutout in my past life, pre-baby, I would probably have my cutout riding a horse because, you know, I'm an avid equestrian and love horses.
Well, if your cutout wants to come over and watch my cutout while, while my kids are playing, that'd be great too. All right, so Taran, you share some passions with Megan, including the European region. I know you love some of those same famous cities.
Oh yeah, you know, mine would probably be in the second arrondissement in Paris, in the Marais. I'd put my cutout there. Yeah, and I believe that as far as stadiums, it would be Davis Wade in beautiful Starkville, Mississippi, and or it would be in Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, the Palace on the Plains in Norman, Oklahoma. Those would be the two places, because love college football, and what better place than, you know, in the SEC country in Mississippi, or in Big 12 country in Norman, Oklahoma. And I know I've just made a lot of people mad there with those two statements, but I'm okay with it.
No, those are two big football schools for sure. I mean, they're like powerhouses in the SEC and Big 12. So I can understand that. I've never been to, actually, I have been to Norman, Oklahoma. That's right. And it is a huge campus. It's very flat.
Very flat. You can see for many, 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 many miles out there in Oklahoma. Not a whole lot of hills or anything to see, at least not in central Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's, we were walking forever. I went there for a volleyball competition, and we were just trying to get to the gym. That's it. We're trying to get to the gym. And we were walking forever. And I'm like, I mean, we're going to be tired before we play the game. But it was all good. All right, so let's see. Do we have any comments, Stacy?
Yeah, we're seeing some people weigh in. Dana says definitely Truist Stadium or Aggie Stadium, hashtag Aggie Pride. Regina said, Ed, that's a lot of food. Amanda says, I think that's a great idea. And she's referring to Tracy's comment, cut out to watch the kids so I can nap. And guys, what about a cutout of me right here, right now, so I can go nap?
I don't know. I don't think, because we ask you so many questions, your cutout can't talk back. We get suspicious very quickly.
I'd have to come up with a recording or something.
You'd be like, yeah, guys. Yeah, guys. That's all you'd have to say.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great morning of great conversations, and we're so glad that you could join us and have a little fun. You know, it doesn't have to be all serious all the time. We can laugh too, and, you know, take our minds off of other stuff that's happening. So if we all had a cutout, maybe you won't see us here tomorrow. You never know. All right, Ed Matthews, let's close out with a look at the local forecast.
Oh, yes, indeed. As I peer up to the sky, I'm seeing some breaks in the clouds. I'm pretty excited about that. I think overall a mix of sun and clouds today, cranking up the heat for your enjoyment. We're on our way to the upper 80s. Now enough moisture around for maybe a pop-up shower or storm. And then look at tomorrow, real entertainment. And that's the case on Thursday as well. We'll keep both of those days dry, sun and clouds and low 90s. And then we're going to be watching late Friday on into Saturday. Possibly some of the leftover moisture from the remnant low from Laura, which is expected to move inland late Wednesday night, early Thursday along the Louisiana-Texas coast, maybe as a Category 3 storm. Now, the remnant low would not really have much in the way of wind with it, but that moisture could bring a little better chance of showers and storms in the late Friday and Saturday time frame.
Right, it's getting hot in the triad. Yes. I know. Well, we enjoyed the cooler temperatures last week, and we knew it was going to happen because Taran said it would. He said, it's August, folks. Don't get used to it. I have that recorded. Thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. We'll be back with more great conversations and, of course, your headlines tomorrow. We'll see you later, everybody. Stay safe.